a soap making Saturday. It is my first, or actually third attempt on the first day of using the new Haps app. So I should be streaming live to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Hopefully, everybody can see everything okay. And I am going to get started. Before I do start, I want to say Happy Founders Day to the women of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, of which I am a member. 101 years is great. And now let's get started. Today I am making two of our two of our coffee bars. The first bar is I'm awake, and the second bar is called Stay Woke, because when you love coffee, that's usually the reason why. Usually my fluid that I'm adding now is usually distilled water. This time it is triple brewed coffee. So this soap is actually made with fresh triple brewed coffee. Need to move this out the way. That is my sodium hydroxide mixture that I just added, and it is the beginning of making soap. There are different ways to make it, but if you are making it from scratch or from the beginning, sodium hydroxide is oils and butters is your first step. I just need to make sure, because I have children in the house, that I am safe at all times. So I always like to rinse that out right away. So you can see here, these are my oils that I have melted. I use hot process soap making. And then I add the sodium hydroxide mix and I begin to make soap. So I'm going to get started. I have on my protective wear, long sleeves, goggles. I don't know if you can see me. And my gloves, because this is very caustic at this point. So I need to make sure that I have the safety precautions met. Turn this down and we will get started. So this part is a little noisy, but it is what it is. I am going to mix the soap until it comes to trace. The sodium hydroxide and the oil until it comes to trace. It's going to be a little thicker than it is now. I'm looking for a pudding kind of texture. And this can take, sometimes it's really fast, sometimes it takes a little longer. With the coffee being in the mix, it usually happens a little faster. So hopefully you won't have to hear this very long. As you can see, it's starting to thicken up already. However, let me slide this back over because it's moving. There we go. I do want it to be a little thicker. Yeah, we are moving along really well. Okay, that is actually pretty good there. I'm going to do it a little bit longer. My name is Will. I'm an artist and proprietor of Hazel Soapery. I can be found at www.hazelsoapery.com. And today I am making two coffee soaps, one with ground coffee for exfoliation and the other without. Behind, if I go through like this, I want there to be like a little tail behind it, which I'm getting to, not quite as thick as I like it. So I'm going to give it one more spin and then I'll be able to talk to you a little more. How's everybody doing today? Like I said, it's triple brewed coffee. It smells so good. And then you can also see it's like putting in a stick blender. I want to make sure I get all of that out though. Here we go. Sit this here. One of the things, I don't know if anybody is watching because they are also a maker or interested in making soap. One of the things I always do is put down wax paper. It just makes it easier to clean. So because I do hot process soaps, one of the most important things for me to do is to make sure that the crock pot retains its heat. So I'm going to put the lid on it. I'm going to let it sit for a while. Next thing it'll do is it'll become more solid. It'll become hard, and then it will go into the volcano process. Now, one of the things that's really important if you are making soap or when you make soap is to never walk away from the crock pot at this point. So my eyes are glued, but I can have some conversation. So is anybody in here with me? If so, where are you from? I'm from South Carolina. I'm in Spartanburg, and the weather is pretty nice today. We don't really have hard cold winters here, which I can appreciate. So where are you from, and what's the weather like in your area today? I'm trying to see. I have on my goggles still, so I can't really see that good if there are comments, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch this and I'm going to respond to the comments. So if you are viewing, please tell me where you are from. I think there may be a permissions button on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. If you want to leave a comment, you can either leave it on under my stream there, or you can go ahead and give the permissions. You can also follow me on Haps TV. It's really cool. For those of you who were Periscope people, I was not. I used to watch Periscope. Let me clarify. I actually learned how to make soap from Zakia Ringold on Periscope. So she was crucial into kind of helping me figure out what I was doing. So I have used Periscope before. I was not active participant in posting videos. I usually do Facebook Live. I've done a couple Instagram lives, or excuse me, I would shoot the videos and then upload them. So this concept is a little new. However, they have been working closely with the Periscope company and group and getting people over from Periscope to Hatch. So if you are into streaming videos, this is a great one because I can stream to several locations at once live, which makes it awesome. You can also follow me and I'll follow you. We can give each other tokens, keep each other motivated. It's a really cool app. So if you're not on it, go ahead, get on it, and then look for me, Hazel Soapery. So that's what I know about HAPS so far. This is my first one, so I'm not sure how it's moving along. I think you can see everything okay. Um, I'm not 100% positive if my children are upstairs streaming or not. So sometimes that can affect the quality of the video. So hopefully everything is working out well. Let's see. What else? Let's see. Okay. Hazel Soapery. I can give you some background since some of you may be new to Hazel Soapery. I've been soap making about 4 years. My name is Camille. Hazel was actually my grandmother. And like several of us, we have that grandma that just tells you you can do anything you put your mind to. That was my grandma. So she was also the person who would go out and people would say, "Oh, I got a headache." And she'd be like, "I mixed something." She'd come together, she'd mix all these concoctions together and it would help people. So a lot of my foundation in the kitchen, as far as soap making and cooking, come from her. Then later on, my mother got into vitamins and herbal remedies and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of just combined everything into soap making and skin essentials. So if you want to say hi, my name is Camille, but if you say Hazels, that works as well. Okay. So that's how I kind of got started in soap making. I think a few years, oh gosh, it's probably been more than a few years. But a while back, I chopped off all my hair and was looking for shampoos and conditioners and all that kind of stuff that were just more beneficial to my natural hair. And in doing so, came across one of Zakia's videos on soap making and was like, that's what I need to do. I need to research what I'm putting on my skin. I hadn't thought about that. I knew I needed something different for my hair. I knew I was trying to eat better, but I had not considered the fact that my largest organ is my skin and that it takes about 26 seconds for anything to that you put on your skin to absorb in your body. So when you're thinking of healthier alternatives, definitely, and I'm not saying it has to be Hazel soapery, but definitely consider what you are using on your skin as well. So you work out, you eat well, you drink water. You also need to factor in the ingredients that are being absorbed through your skin. There are plenty of us out here doing this. Of course, I want you to use Hazel Soapery, um, but I also just want you to be healthy. So if you find someone local, go ahead and support them and give it a try. I think you'll be happy with some of the results you see in probably a relatively short time. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm not used to this. So, y'all, I don't know if you can see me or not. I'm not seeing any comments. Let's see here. And here you can see, I'm going to just let you see a little. This is what I mean about when it gets harder. You can kind of see how it's more firm. I'm going to put the top back on because, like I said, I need the heat. As it continues throughout the saponification process, it's going to break down again and lava over and go through the volcano stage, which is really probably my favorite part of something. So there's that. And we just have to wait for that to happen, which is interesting. I tend to soap at a higher temperature. So sometimes it can happen really fast. Like I can put it in, I can stir for a little while, boom, I'm at volcano stage. Other times it can be a little slower. I'm actually surprised that it's moving as slow as it is today because of the coffee instead of water. But if you can see along the edge here, it is starting. It won't be long and I'll be stirring my little arms off, but I love it. I'm gonna move over some spoons and stuff so that I'm ready. Again, if you're soap making and you're doing hot process soap, it's very important not to leave the crock pot because after a while it takes on its own mind. It's going to do its own thing, and you have to be prepared to jump in and stir. At the volcano stage, stirring allows some air to get through it and helps it to settle back down. It could do it again, um, and it may not. And with hot soap, I'm going to learn how to speak today. With hot process soap making, it can skip phases. it can break down. It's just, you just need to make sure that you keep your eyes on it at all times. If you are watching on any platform, please share with your friends. If you are a customer or have tried Hazel Soapery in the past, please do me a favor and leave a comment on your experience for somebody who may be trying to decide whether or not they want to try a product, not know where to start. Your comments are very helpful in helping people make a decision. So if you would leave a comment, share the live with someone, I would appreciate it. I'm trying not to give you guys dead space, but I can't really see because I have on my goggles. Again, I wear protective wear is very important. And I'm going to lift this up so you can kind of see what's going on here. See, and it's going to just keep going and folding over itself. I'd like to not disturb this top coating here. I like, for me, it's a timing thing. I like to see it fold over on itself so that I don't have any pockets of uncooked soap um, in the batter. So it takes some time and some patience, like many things. Let's see if I can look on my other phone and see if I see anything better. All right, check that out. And at this point, it's hot enough. I can kind of just let it, I can keep the lid off so you can see this because this is like the coolest part of soap making for me. There we go. Now, if I let it, will it rise up and go over the edges? It will. Am I going to let it do that? I am not because cleaning it up is hot and messy. I'm going to just keep stirring that for a minute and let it stir down. What are y'all Saturday plans? I'm making today after, excuse me, after I make this soap, I am going to make some body butter. I also make other skin essentials. So we have body butters, we have body oils, we have sugar scrubs, and all kinds of goodies. Bath salts. The bath salts are actually named after my mother, Carolyn's Bathaholic Salt Soaks, because I don't think I know another person on the face of this earth who can sit in a tub and soak as long as my mother. So she needs something named after her. All right. Look at that. See how different it looks? That's awesome. That's what we want. We wanted to go through the different phases. If this were white, it would look more like mashed potatoes than it does now. And it does look like it wants to raise up again. So I'm going to put the lid back on it. One of the reasons, aside from trapping the heat, the lid is important is because it also helps the soap to retain its moisture. And I don't want it to dry out. In the meantime, I'm going to take it out the base because it is hot enough to do its own thing. Move this back where you can see it. We good? All right. And look, see, it is jumping up again. It is good and hot, which is what I want. I want it to go ahead and cook. And you can see a little why it's called the mashed potato phase. After that, it skipped the applesauce where it kind of breaks down. usually because your heating factor is going to determine that. And we'll give it some good stirs. Again, you want to make sure that it's always blended well. I'll make sure I get that off the edge so that it doesn't get hard. Give it a nice pat down. And there you have it. I'm going to let it sit a little while longer, and then I'm going to add into it some yogurt. You'll hear people talk about um, goat's milk soap and things like that. I do not use goat's milk in my soap. I do use yogurt along with a few other ingredients for the sodium lactate. And what that is going to do is make sure that the bar is hard. It's also going to help with the slip. And the slip is that smooth feeling you feel after you rinse. You know, some soaps you'll be like, oh, that soap was too strong. It was my skin was grippy. And it's not necessarily that the soap is strong. It's just a question of the slip, and the the sodium lactate in the yogurt helps with that. One of the cool things, I do not in my soap use lard or tallow. I know there are people who are being mindful of animal products in their soaps as well. The farthest I go is with the yogurt, and for the reason that I stated. But I don't eat pork, so lard's out the question for personal reasons. And then tallow, I'm actually trying to get away from beef. It is proven to be harder to do that. I don't know if anybody has ever um, stopped eating beef. It's actually proven to be harder, a lot harder than it was to let go of um, the pork. I don't know why. Every once in a while, I just need a big old hunk of beef, and I have it. So I'm working on it though. Lately, I've been buying. Anybody else trying to transition? My oldest daughter is a vegetarian, so lately I have been buying um, more meat substitutes, or trying to um, avoid meat where I don't have to. So instead of plopping it on top of my salads, I just have the salad. Or when I order pizza now, I'll order extra cheese for myself and then add whatever vegetables I have on hand to the top and pop it in the oven again. They're never done enough for me, so I'm going to put it in the oven anyway. But I've been trying to slowly push away from meats. Definitely red meat and pork. Like I said, I have a harder time. So if anybody has any tips with that, please leave them in the comment. And keep in mind, this baby is tallow and lard free. Okay. Again, there is some yogurt. You saw the amount that I put in. There's not much, but that is present. If you are completely vegan and don't want any animal byproducts, I am this year going to do one without any type of animal product in them at all. So it's coming. It's just not here yet. I've just got to reformulate and make sure it's right before I make it and release it. I can take off my glasses now. And I am also going to switch gloves. These gloves are extremely hot, but they're the most effective when the soap is still caustic. I'll roll up my sleeves too. So guys, comment. And like I said, I will come back through and read all of the comments and respond to them. It's just my first time, so I'm trying to get through it. I usually have music playing, but Facebook and Instagram have been very diligent about making sure that you don't use music in your videos, etc. So, with that being said, I am going to, I think, start a Spotify list of some of the music that I listen to while I soak because I think I have excellent music taste. You might not, but it's pretty eclectic. However, one of the cool things about my relationship with music and my business and all of that is a lot of the soaps get their names from songs that I am feeling inspired by at the moment or a thought that is in my head. So we have I Feel Pretty. I feel pretty, feel so pretty, I feel da 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 da. Then we have that one. We have Be Still, which is an old church song that I used to sing in the choir. The winds and the waves shall obey thy will. Peace be still, peace be still. So we have Be Still. We have Lovely Day, because the day I was making that song, it was just rolling in my head. I was playing it on repeat. So um, those are kind of where I draw a lot of the inspirations for the names of the soap. There's Cool Off. I don't know if anybody's a Missy fan. There's a song soap called Cool Off on there. So I try to be fun, but usually they are inspired by what I'm feeling or listening to or kind of going through as I'm making them. So here I need to make sure that that gets this mixed in well. And we are moving right along. Good job, soap. Mix that up. You see it makes the soap a little more fluid as well, which is cool. Especially because of the molds that I'm using. They can be a little bit challenging. This will be the basic color of one of the bars. I will not add any more color to one of them. The other one, I will be using cocoa powder. So we'll have like a light color, light dark brown kind of complexion to it, tone. All right. So there we go. We've got soap. I'm going to add when I find it. Oh, there we go. I am going to add a little bit of coffee fragrance just to make sure it holds. That smells good. There we go. But you could still smell the original coffee smell in there. Again, this is Camille with Hazel Soapery. Thank you so much if you can see this and are watching. I hope it is playing fine. There we go. And then I'm going to split these up into two separate bowls so I can continue mixing them. Oh, it helps when you turn on. Sorry about that. Let's mix that back. I am by far not the perfect soap maker. I make little errors and stuff all the time. I didn't have my scale on. But I want to make sure that I have an even amount. That was 664. An even amount of each. All right. Whew, y'all, it's hot. There we go. Now, with this little bit here, because this is it for one of the bars. It's really basic. I'll sprinkle a little coffee on top of it, but I am going to make a few samples. I'm still doing snowflake samples because it's still winter. I'll get back to the hearts with some of the Valentine's things. That's probably when I'll switch over. I try when people place an order to include a sample of something that they haven't had. So that's why I always make it a point to make a few samples for everyone. I'm pretty sure y'all can't see me right now. I apologize. I'm just getting, and I don't like wasting soap. You should see what I use. I use little soap balls. If there's something left in the container like that, I'll go through and scrape them up and make almost like Play-Doh. So as I stated, this bar is going to be as it was. I'm sorry. Let me grab this really quickly. This is the bar, the mold that I'm using. It's really cool because it gives you a really nice massage as you are using it. But it can be tricky getting the soap down into the mold. So I want to make sure that I can get it down in there good. So I beat it down to make sure that it's in the grooves really well and that there's no air bubbles. And then I go back over it again. If you are a fellow soaper and you use this mold, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Oh, this smells so good, guys. Let's get down there, make sure it is nice together. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of coffee on that. Nothing that anybody will have to worry about actually, using or whatever. I just think it looks cool. And then I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to start with 2 because I want to make sure that I have enough for full bars. I should, but this is my first time giving these 2 bars a makeover. I think I made the right choice. I can use a little more. Perfect. And a little sprinkle on the top. And then with the extra, I'll make a few more samples. Can never go wrong with samples. I really hope this is working, guys. I have not check to see what you guys can see or anything like that. So I hope everything is moving right along. My understanding is the HAPS team is awesome. So maybe somebody from there is watching and can give some pointers. All right, here we go. So here is the bar that has just coffee, no extras. I'm going to slide this over so that I don't knock it down somehow. And then I'm going to split this such. I'll be right back over. Sorry, I just ran out of counter space. I am going to add some cocoa to half of it. And some coffee grounds to both parts. Again, this is going to be an exfoliating bar. Using coffee. That smells good. I'm going to mix it up really good. And it's getting thick, so I'm going to have to move really fast. Ooh, sorry, I'm throwing coffee grounds everywhere. Mix these up really good. I don't want clumps. I want it well mixed. So sprinkle a little more on that side. A little more here. There we go. Again, these are I'm Awake and Be Still. They are made with triple brewed coffee instead of just water. They also have coffee and cocoa. One is just coffee. I'm going to do at least one of these right now. A couple of my samples, so I'm sure to at least have a couple that will go out with the next few orders. And then I'm going to jump into the molds. Having the cork board helps me to make sure that it gets down in there. And I'm going to start with this one because it's a little more fluid. And again, my goal is to make sure that it gets down in those grooves really good. Y'all, if y'all are sleepy and you use this, you are definitely going to wake up. Okay. Not to mention, it is said that caffeine gives your skin a more plump appearance. So those who battle with cellulite and things like that, this bar, they say use caffeine to help. I don't know. I know it gets you clean. That I do know. I definitely know that. As far as the rest, somebody try it out and let me know what happens. My guarantees stop at getting you clean. I'm gonna switch spatulas. This one's getting a little funky. Go. There we go. Again, I want to make sure there are not a lot of air pockets. I'll top that one off a little bit. This one too. They needed a little more love. There we go. Perfect. Almost. There we go. Get back in there. Acting up. Stop it. We got company. All righty. And then we'll move on to these two over here. I'll stick with the same thing I did last time and just do two. Making sure it gets down in there good. Soaps always look different, so I am sure that once I unmold these, I will have no idea what they will look like, but I will come on and do a live of the unmold so you can see them once they're finished as well. That chocolate is making this soap get really thick pretty fast. I mean, but it's cocoa, so I should say cocoa, not chocolate. Also, again, supposedly really good, but it does get you clean. That's what I know for a fact. It will get you clean. Let's get that down a little bit. There we go. Starting to come out the mold a wee bit, and I don't want it to do that. Can I get you to play nice? There we go. All right, y'all. So that is it. 2 soaps. Didn't take that long. One is I'm Awake. The other is Stay Woke. One is an exfoliating bar with fresh ground coffee in it. The other one is just made with coffee. One has cocoa and the fresh ground. So that is the difference. I will take new pictures and put them up so that you can see them. I hope that you guys were able to see this video and enjoyed it. Again, I will master HapSap. I'm going to figure all of this out so that our next video runs much smoother. And I appreciate it. Everyone have a wonderful Saturday. Thank you for joining me. And that's it. I'll come back on and unmold them. Peace out, everybody, and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.